Does your LinkedIn profile help or hurt you? What does your LinkedIn profile say about you? To help us get out of our own way, our next speaker presents a LinkedIn headline formula that will take you from hunter to hunted. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for Tajuana Ross.
Thank you, Matthew. I have an assignment to do before I start. What's that? Is that like a screensaver? Yeah. Oh. I'm just asking for a friend. Hey, while they figure that out, I need to complete my homework assignment. I got this new selfie stick this morning. The good kind, not the kind you find at the dollar store like I did before. You know, this is the real shit. Thank you, Bobby. So I want to use my new selfie stick, okay? I'm going to take a picture of all of you. What I need you to do is stand, and when I count to 3, I want you to like wave, make silly faces, or whatever that you feel is appropriate for me to post on Facebook. Are y'all standing back there? One, 2, 3. Oh crap, I can't hit the button with my left hand. Hang on.
You need a selfie stick for your selfie stick.
I need a selfie stick for the selfie stick, someone said. 1, 2. He's gonna say 3.
You ready? 1, 2, 3.
What was that?
Well, it was just a sign.
Let's do that one more time with some enthusiasm, people. 1, 2, 3. Now we're talking. Who's calling me right now?
Someone said Mark Zuckerberg. I actually need the CEO of LinkedIn to call me. Jeff, call me, dude. So, for those of you that don't know me, I am Tajuana Ross. I'm a #1 best-selling author. I do have my books here today, so if you don't currently have my book in your possession, I'll see you after this for the reception. My book is $20. I will kindly sign it for you and take a picture with you, if that's okay with you. That clicker. It's my job today over the next 30, 40 minutes or so. I can't see that time. 31 minutes to coach you through the formula for building a kick-ass LinkedIn headline. You see, as speakers, what you probably don't understand is that no matter what stage you stand on, when you get up to speak, the people in the audience are going to do one of 2 things. They are either going to Google you, or they're going to head straight to LinkedIn and type in your name. I need a brave volunteer to raise their hand, stand up, and tell me what you think will happen when people either Google you or look you up on LinkedIn? What's going to happen, Dory?
LinkedIn is going to come up with one of the top ones, one of the top searches.
Top 3. I'm going to put money on it. I will put money on it all day, every day. When someone Googles your name, your LinkedIn profile will be in the top 3 of the search results. So my question for you is, how's that working for you? Don't answer that, because I already checked. So if you are a member of Engaging Speakers, I have already thoroughly studied your LinkedIn profile. Already done it. Some of you need to schedule a mentor session with me. I'm just saying. Some of you will walk out of here today, though. Most of you, if not all of you, will walk out of here today, though, with an impactful, solid, kick-ass headline. Why? Because I'm going to give you the formula for that. So here's what I need you to do. I'm going to give you about 30, 45 seconds or so. I need you to grab your laptops, boot them up if you have them. If you don't have your laptop, but you use LinkedIn on your mobile app, go ahead, whip out your cell phone, have that app handy. If you don't have technology in your possession at all, a notebook, pen, pad, whatever, that'll work. For those of you that have a laptop, in addition to accessing LinkedIn, I want you to also open a Word document. We're going to use that Word document for this session, okay? You got about another 15, 20 seconds to whip out your laptops. Look at Glenn. He's fancy. Fancy. He did. He came prepared, and I appreciate you for that, especially because you're sitting up front. He got the memo. I see a mobile app back there, all right. Dee is ready to roll. Everybody ready to roll with a laptop, pen, pad, device, something?
First thing is your selfie.
First thing what?
Is your selfie. That's
Sweet, yes, I love that. If I could, I'd take a screenshot of that. I just posted that like 7 minutes ago.
nicely done.
I love it. All right, so you told me you're ready to go. So let's do this. I need you to focus on the importance of the LinkedIn headline for one particular reason. There are many reasons, but there's one particular reason that we will use today as the basis for why we are putting time and energy into your LinkedIn headline. Remember, we were just talking about someone Googling you. And we just talked about the fact that your LinkedIn profile will be in the top 3 search results. When someone clicks onto your LinkedIn profile, or a better example for some of you, a better example is, especially for those of you on your laptops, if you're looking at LinkedIn right now, I want you to just do a search. In your search bar at the top of the screen, put in the word speaker. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to get a search results page with at least 10 people on it. You're going to scroll through all those people. But as you see those people on the page, there are really only 3 things that appear on a search results page. It's your picture, your profile picture, your name, and what's the 3rd thing? Your headline. If those are the only 3 pieces of information someone sees on a search results page, where there are several other people that we will all scroll through, do you understand the importance now of your LinkedIn headline?
Yes.
Yes, I heard it back there. For those of you that still aren't convinced of its importance, your LinkedIn headline is essentially the same. It has the same purpose as the headline of a magazine or the headline of a newspaper article. Somebody be a brave volunteer and tell me, what's the purpose of a headline on a magazine?
So you get it to buy?
Grab your attention, and I heard someone say, get you to buy it, right? So on that crazy busy search results page where there are at least 10 other professionals who come up when you search for the word speaker, do you think there's a little competition on that page? Yeah. And in that competitive mode, the only thing on that page that will make you stand out, because your name doesn't count. We search for the word speaker, so we know that's going to be somewhere in the headline. Your picture might make or break you, but the next thing that will make or break you is that headline. So I need you to understand how incredibly important your headline is. Because if you don't stand out on LinkedIn, you are so screwed. LinkedIn is a massive tool. It is massive. There are 500 million people on LinkedIn. You have to be able to stand out. Side note, for those of you actually taking notes, side note, put an asterisk by this. If your LinkedIn profile looks like a resume, and you don't call me in the next 24, 48 hours, you have a serious branding problem. Serious branding problem. So let's do what we can today to fix some of that. Word to your mama. No, that's not really what that means. That means make sure by now you have an actual Word document open on your laptop so we can get to work. But word to your mama. Let's play a little game of who would you rather. I know the last time you played this game was in a college dorm. But let's play this game today. I want you to be honest with me here. There are 2 people on this slide. Or technically, 3 people on this slide, but 2 people that we're actually supposed to pay attention to. Be honest with us. Of these 2, which headline is the most impactful?
Gail Brown!
Did you help her?
I did. I did help Gail, but I think I heard several of you, I counted about 4 or 5 or 6 of you that said Gail Brown has, there she is right there, she has the more impactful headline. Anyone disagree with that? And it's okay, I'm not going to hunt you down in the parking lot, it's okay. Anyone disagree? Y'all were scared. No. She really does have the better headline. I need a brave volunteer to raise their hand and even stand if you feel comfortable to do so. Tell me why Gail has a more impactful headline. Jared.
It's about the reader, not about her.
It is about the reader. It is. Let's face it. More of them are looking at our headline than we are. So it should cater to the reader, yes? What else? Thank you, Jared. What else? What else makes Gail's headline more impactful?
She just looks more professional and more formal, like she's an authority figure, where these other people just hanging out at home doing their job.
They look like they're hanging at home. Thank you for that. I'm not sure of your name, but thank you.
Joy.
Joy.
Lucinda.
You bring me joy.
Oh, thank you.
That was a
Bring me
great
joy
Anita
too.
Baker song back in the late 80s, early 90s.
yeah.
Yeah. Y'all, you're too young to know that.
No, I'm not.
I want to talk about this headline for just a second for Stewart. First of all, which one is Stewart, the male or the female? Anybody? You have no idea. You have no idea who Stewart is. Is that a common name? No. So we don't have a clue. Somebody says Stewart, so maybe it's Stewart and he incorrectly spelled his own name. Right? Could be. What do we know about Stewart? They said, someone said Stewart is blonde. How do we even, oh, he likes blonde. How do we even know Stewart is the he?
I think it's the blonde.
You think Stewart is the blonde?
Yeah, I think he's the authority figure and she wanted to take a picture with him.
Okay, so he's like the big wig. She was all about getting a little celebrity status on her Facebook page, so she took a picture with him. Do you understand the fact that we're even having this discussion right now and not focusing on the fact that somebody runs a business? Do you understand how damaging that is to Stewart's brand? And quite frankly, could be damaging to yours. Okay? So let me give you the formula, and here's where we're going to start to work. It's a very simple formula. Ms. Donna this morning has already helped us with a piece of this, so this will sound and look familiar when you start to point and click on your own computers or jot down in your notepad. But the formula is very simple. There must be some value offered in your headline. Let me take a step back. The default headline in LinkedIn, and by default I mean the auto-populated headline that LinkedIn has, so that if you don't customize it, you're automatically rolling with this default headline. The default headline is actually your most recent job title. I promise you, all day, every day, I don't care what you do for a living, there's nothing sexy about your job title. There's nothing sexy about it, there's no value in it, we don't give a shit. Do we? No, we don't. But if you give us some value, we might just pay attention in this society that has no attention span anymore. Okay, now if this were back in like 1952 where people actually had attention spans, then maybe Stewart could have gotten past with that headline. But nowadays, people are gonna look at your headline for half a nanosecond and decide if they're gonna move on or stay. So the very first thing that has to be included in your headline is some actual value for the reader. Part 2 of your headline. I told you earlier, I asked you earlier to do a search for the word speaker. But that's because we're in a room full of speakers. So this might make sense if you see what other speakers are doing to brand themselves on LinkedIn. But would you consider the word speaker to be a keyword? Yeah, that's a keyword. Okay, so in your headline, we want to squeeze as many keywords in as possible, and I'll elaborate on that when we actually get hands-on and start working. The last piece of your headline, though, is some sort of formatting that may be necessary, and I stress maybe. Depends on how you format the first 2 sections. That'll make sense in just a little bit. All right, pens out, fingers on keyboards, let's do this. So, step 1, that value proposition. And I don't know if there is a mute button on this remote, so I'm just gonna press some things. Y'all bear with me for a second. I just wanna see what this thing does. Well, it's not that button. I'm just gonna leave it right there. I'm just gonna leave it. All right, this value proposition. In your notes, there are 3 pieces to this value proposition. You will answer 3 questions. Here are the 3 questions for you to either write down, type out, etc., etc. But ultimately, your headline will answer, for the value proposition, will answer these 3 questions. First question. What do you do? What do you do? Second question. Who do you do it for? Who do you do it for? And third question, what are the results? What does someone walk away with as a result? What are the benefits? Okay, what do you do? Who do you do it for? What are your results? Now, if I go back, I should grab that. I want to go back for a visual because you told me that Gail had a more impactful headline. So I want you to see the format of this headline. Okay, a part of it might be reminiscent of what Ms. Donna was speaking about earlier today, the I help statements, right? And whatever verb you use there is totally up to you. Help versus empower versus teach versus coach versus speak, etc., etc. Okay? But ultimately, the format of your value proposition will be I, verb, for those folks over there, and here's what happens. I, verb, for those folks, and here's what happens. Okay? Anybody lost yet?
This is in the, not title, what did you call it? This is in the headline?
This is the headline.
Okay.
As opposed to what?
Title. I don't know. Summary?
Oh, as opposed to your summary. Yes, this is just the headline.
Okay.
This is just the headline. The default, I'm sorry, not default, the verbiage that appears right below your name. Okay? Just like you see with Gail's. All right, anyone need more time on the value proposition? The what do you do, who do you do it for, and what are the results? Everybody good on the value prop? Fantastic. Let me get one brave volunteer to stand and read or deliver your value proposition. Just the value prop. Who's that? Go for it, Dee. She's all shy back there.
Can we cry?
Please don't cry. I've done that before and it's not fun.
Okay. Raising the bar, I guess I need to finish that. I raise the bar in project management for people who need to get things done.
One more time, Dee.
I raise the bar in project management for people who need to get things done.
Thank you, Greg. I raise the bar for people in project management. Is that what I heard?
Here.
Maybe that's what you should have heard.
I don't want to tweak. I don't want to
Well,
tweak.
I see there is something missing. Don't have the filler, so this is what's written.
Raising the bar in project management for people who need to get things done. So I need to say something that I'm helping with people to raise their own personal bar in project management so they can get stuff done. Something like that is what I'm going for. I'll work on it some more.
I gotcha. Let me also, let me include one extra bullet point for you as you're, working on this. What people? Who? Because there are 8 billion of us on the planet. So which people? Because you can't sell to 7.9 billion people. Or can you? Do you see what I mean with that? Let's get specific.
Yes, I do have something very specific for project managers in life science, but I also speak on project management for non-project managers, which is a wider audience. So that's 2 things in that one.
Now, if I remember correctly, Dee, because you spoke a few weeks ago, and you delivered that as your value proposition, the fact that you help people do project management who are not project managers, that was part of your value statement back then. That's how you delivered it. It was very impactful when you delivered it. But do you see the difference between people and people who are not project managers? Right? That's more specific. Stay in that lane so that your reader, to Jared's point, your reader can actually visualize who is the person or who are the people who will whip out their credit card and give it to you.
Mhm. So then I would say the other piece for in the summary, because I run an organization named Project Management in Life Science, and that's for project managers.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay.
Okay, for anyone who totally missed that, what she said was, you have real estate on LinkedIn. You don't need to throw the entire stew into your headline. Okay? There is additional real estate on your profile. The headline is a total of 120 characters. That's shorter than a tweet. Okay? So all of the elaborating that you need to do, the specifics, the what, how, why, etc., all of that can reside in your summary. But within the headline, you want to give us, the reader, enough to make us click on your profile. So take the word people, if that's in your headline right now, be more specific on that so that the general public knows whether or not what you do applies to them. Okay? Great job, Dee. Thank you for being brave.
Thank you for the coaching.
Yeah, because that would have cost you $500 an hour. I'm just saying. Oh, no, I've never been 300, dude. Never. That was Miss Donna. And even she's not 300 an hour. All right, I saw another hand somewhere over here. You got it, Barry.
I educate individuals so that they can proactively plan for retirement and aging.
Ooh. Okay. One consistent thing, one consistent piece of your headline that I heard in Dee's. What people? What individuals? Who? Where are they? What do they do? Are they millennials? Are they boomers? Are they retired? Are they employed? Are they business owners? Do they really?
Anyone who hasn't retired yet.
Well, that's a whole lot of people, Barry.
Right.
You can sell to that many people?
I'm trying to.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Groups of employees, I mean, that's where I'm really targeting.
Employees, bam, done.
Okay.
See, so much easier than you think, right?
Okay.
Give that to me one more time, Barry, with the word employees, please.
So I educate employees so that they can proactively plan for retirement and aging.
That's it.
Thank you.
Fantastic job. Y'all see how much easier that was when we stop overthinking? People can be one word. So even though we want to be specific, it doesn't need to be long and drawn out. Who are the folks who will whip out their credit card and pay you? That's what goes in your headline. Now, let's get back to that second step. The keywords, series of keywords. We're going to wrap this up because I want to be able to take your questions, general questions on LinkedIn, as well as your headline itself. Keywords. When you're deciding on which keywords to use in your headline and you're cognizant of the fact that you have a maximum of 120 characters to work with, I want you to be thinking about your forecast for 2017 for your business. When you look at your forecast for 2017, I want you to identify the top 3 revenue streams that you see for your business. Whatever the top 3 revenue streams are, the keywords that should be in your headline should be relevant to those 3 revenue streams. In other words, we're all speakers in this room. 80-90% of us or so are speakers. So if you are a speaker and you don't have the word speaker in your headline, what you're telling me is that I never need to pay you for that. Do you understand how I came to that conclusion?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone not understand that? Because that's big. We can't move forward until you understand that one. If it is not in your headline, you are telling me and the general public, more importantly, the buying public, that you do not want to be paid for that thing. Yes.
Question. I have three, and I got three questions, three items, but I put offer as one because I am one, and there's, whoop. I thought I was loud enough, Greg, man.
No, I'm just old up here.
All right. I have three because I have author, speaker, and certified coach. Now, author is one, as well as I, books don't necessarily all the time flip over lots of cash. So I expect to be paid for my books, but it's not the biggest of my revenue generators. If I take that out, though, that holds a lot of weight. What's your take on that? Because I know a lot of the people in the room are authors as well.
Great question. Thank you for asking that one, Ms. Julie. Now, clarification, please. What would be the alternative? So if you pull author out for one of the higher revenue streams, trader, it would be what?
Trainer.
Trader.
Trainer. Workshop giver trainer type person, yes.
We're going with author.
Okay.
Here's why. Let me explain that. Part of the strategy, in fact, most of the strategy that I take my clients through, this is what makes me different from all the other LinkedIn coaches out there. They are fantastic at what they do. Most LinkedIn coaches out there help you build your LinkedIn profile tactically speaking. Meaning, they help you complete all the sections of your LinkedIn profile. Because I want you to know right now, because there's some of you in this room right now who don't understand, that if your profile is not actually completed, LinkedIn does not show your profile. So remember earlier I said, I asked you to search for speaker. I had you put the word speaker in that search field. If your profile today is incomplete, meaning you have not completed all the sections of your profile, meaning over there on the right-hand side of your profile is that profile indicator strength thing. If it's not blue, that means your profile is incomplete. Good luck being found. Because when someone does the search for the word speaker, your profile will be in the bottom third of search results. How many millions of people on the planet do you think have the word speaker somewhere on their profile? Lots. Lots of millions. So if your profile is incomplete and you appear at the bottom third of the search results as a speaker, you probably ought to call me for that mentor session, because I help my clients get strategic on LinkedIn, not just tactical, but part of that strategy means that those keywords in your headline are actually keywords that people Google. So that by the time your profile and your overall LinkedIn presence is optimized, not only have you increased your LinkedIn footprint, you have increased your ranking on Google. How many of you in this room want to appear higher in Google? Right. Okay. Thank you for that question, Ms. Julie. And I saw one over here. This will be the last question. Or no? Almost last question.
Sorry.
My question was, if we have millions and millions of people on here listed as speaker, what's going to help stand us out?
Great question. Excellent question. What helps you stand out is the value that you offer in your headline. Because the rest of your profile, the rest of that real estate that really goes into what makes you different, the average person looking at LinkedIn won't even see that content. They're not going to see that content until you've given them a reason to actually click on your profile. Why should they click on your profile? Well, because you put time and energy into a strategy to deliver a value proposition in your headline. When 8 out of 10 other LinkedIn users have the default headline, which is their job title. Is the job title sexy? If you learned nothing else from me today, you learned that there is nothing sexy about the default headline. Thank you for that question, D. I'm going to take one more. I know my time is almost up, but let me take one last question. And while we take this last question, I want for you to make sure that you have every avenue possible to connect with me. But before you send me a connection request, I don't have a laser on that thing, so I need to actually point your attention over here. You see right there where it says connect with me by sending me a personalized connection request. Meaning if you send me the default connection request in LinkedIn and I don't know who you are, you don't really want me to accept the connection request. I'm just saying. Last question.
Thank you. Thank you. How do I see that personalized request? I'm getting requests from people from all different places. It comes in as an alert in my email and Gmail. It comes as a, you have a message thing. It comes as who looked at your profile, accept. Where is that personalized page? I can't find it anymore.
It's not you. In the last update, especially on the mobile application, LinkedIn moved some things. There are a couple of features that are no longer available at all, but most of the features have simply moved. So I'm actually going to give you 2 places to go read someone's personalized connection request. Okay? The first place is if you're on the desktop version. You know, on the desktop version, in the top right corner where you see your little picture, all the way over to the right, you'll see the tile that's got your picture. Right to the left of your picture, that middle icon that looks like a little flag. I got it mixed up. Which one is in the middle?
Yeah, flag.
The flag is in the middle. Yeah. And the one on the left is the male one, right? Okay. The one in the middle, that flag, hover over the flag. It'll give you a link to read more. And when you go to that link, you get to see the personalized connection request. If you're on your mobile device and you want to see the personalized connection request, you've got to actually tap the icon, which is the same icon on your mobile device. It's just that it takes you into your mail. Okay? See me after. I will be across the room. So if you want to bring your device, your laptop, etc., I'll walk you through that process as part of the reception. I have no problem doing that, so we can get a little show and tell going on this afternoon. So additional questions, Jim, I got to take this afternoon because they're booting me off the stage right now.
You said a little formatting and you never covered it. Your slide said value.
Thank you.
Little formatting.
Thank you. The formatting, the little formatting. Some of you need what's called separators. Okay, let me show you a separator. A separator might be a star. A separator might be a diamond, some sort of icon. But what it cannot be or should not be is the default LinkedIn separator, which is a straight up and down line. Okay. Sometimes people don't know that that line is a separator. They think it's an L or an I, but it's really a separator. And I encourage you to think about what your brand is and find a visual separator that actually supports what your brand is. Okay, thank you, Jim, for that. I appreciate that. Okay, the rest of your questions, because I see another one in the back of the room, we'll take those offline afterwards. But thank you all so much for your time. You now have the LinkedIn headline formula, and I am the LinkedIn professor.